Start with my presentation. I want to just announce that we have a table in back with the May 1st poster that we put out. If you like to just pick up one as a souvenir, take it with you. And we also have some t-shirts also from the May 1st, which are not for sale, but any donation would be welcome. So from 5 cents up. This is a good sample. Thank you. All right. And again, it's just, this will be just a contribution, whatever comes out of your heart. Very well. So I was one of the initiators of the Consejo de Resistencia en Defensa del Inmigrante. The translation would be the Resistance Council in Defense of the Immigrant. It was something that we began to talk about late November of last year, immediately after Trump was elected president. And we felt that given those conditions that we needed to begin to organize. We knew that we needed to organize. We knew that we had at least 4 years of opportunities to organize because he was going to give us enough issues to organize. So one of the things that we felt we needed to do was bring the leadership, at least in this case in the city of Chicago, to talk about what kind of actions we should be taking. So we began late November, and we met every Saturday since then. And as we kept meeting, we began meeting at the Rudy Lozano Library. And we'd have maybe an average attendance of maybe between 20 and 25 people at the beginning. But then other people began to join. And as they began to see what Trump was up to, we began to get participation from a lot of other organizations that joined us, so that the Consejo really became the vehicle, to organize around the issues that were coming up. So we had organizations that were representing, CTU, the Teachers Union, was always with us. Other unions also were participating. Postal workers came to the meetings, social workers, community organizations, so that at one point, just before May 1st, we had close to 200 organizations that were part of El Consejo. One of the things that I would like to share with you, and it's because as a reference in terms of mass demonstrations, especially in response of the immigrant, we have the 2006 mass demonstration or March 10th, 2006. So we had that as a reference. And we felt that we should be able to replicate that kind of a march. In March 10th, we pulled out 300,000 people. And then on May 1st, we surpassed the 1 million, the 500,000 marched in 2006. So we had that as a reference, and we worked at informing the community of what was going on. I'm sure that all of you are aware that one of the very first campaigns that everyone joined was the Know Your Rights. And Know Your Rights was so effective, that we all know that the guy from ICE said that Chicago was a difficult city to apprehend people because they were informed. They were a very well-informed city. So that campaign was very successful. And that campaign is very interesting because I think that, all types of organizations participated, social service agencies, just community-based organizations, and others, so there was a very, very effective campaign. I think that helped also in terms of getting the word out. Again, in the process, we had several committees. We had outreach, we had finance, we had, we started calling it still the prensa y propaganda, press and propaganda, but then eventually morphed into communications. The big difference in terms of participation was that, of course, the immigrant community was being very careful about participation. I think that, we saw that in May first, that we didn't get the numbers that we got in 2006. And it's, it's understandable because really all of the harassments of the, immigrant community in Chicago in this case was such that a lot of people supported the efforts, but didn't come out on May first. But we also were able to emphasize the fact that immigrants are not criminals. We always said immigrants are not criminals, they are workers. So that we felt that the whole issue with immigration is not a national security issue. It is a labor issue. So we always want to frame it in those terms. It's a labor issue. So that, all the immigrants that we get here in the United States is because they come here to work. So I think that was one of the messages that we were able to carry out. Again, the Consejo was really the vehicle for a lot of other organizations and a lot of other issues to be brought out. And I think that we were successful, and we were able to incorporate, all of these different issues. I think that Palestine was always present in these meetings, and that was one of the things that we made sure, that was part of our platform, when we marched. But that was a big difference between the 2006 and 2025. I think now, one of the things that we are addressing, and we met this morning, is that what's next. I think that, we still have 3.5 years, of Trump, and we cannot relax.